This is the Unspoken Podcast on the Undetermined Podcast Network.
You're listening to the Unspoken Podcast, Cheap Seat Sports Production part of the Undetermined Podcast Network. It is episode number 30. 30. I'm Tom Albano along with Nick Fodera.
Hi, everybody, and we are coming to you on Saturday, and apologies for the technical difficulties yesterday. It's just that my anus turned to stone, and, the less said about that, the better.
Let's leave it. Yeah, let's leave it at that. We are here, and we got some stuff to talk about. I was thinking of opening with our little Sonny Gray Sesame Street parody intro, but after the performance of the Yankees these past two games, I decided against that.
Yeah, you can only do that if that masterpiece can only be used triumphantly, not in defeat.
Although some of you may think it is a defeat song, but
yeah, but God, if I was to sum up, the last two games, the debut of Sonny Gray and Jaime Garcia is like,
yeah, that sums everything up right there. For those of you who do not know, the Yankees have been battling the Cleveland Indians these past two games, and Sonny Gray made his Yankees debut on Thursday, and the Yankees fell 5-1. And yet Sonny Gray had a decent outing, 6 innings pitched. He actually had a quality start because even though he gave up 4 runs, only 2 of them were earned. Part of that was thanks to a miserable first inning by the Yankees.
Yes, defensively. Let's go through what that is a farce to make the Marx brothers proud. I swear to God. Groucho Marx could have risen from his grave, given a thumbs up, and then went back to the sweet eternal twilight of death, and been completely happy with that. That's how farcical this was.
Okay, you want to go through here? Let's go through. All right. So first of all, very first batter of the bottom of the first, the Yankees went down 1-2-3. Gardner, Clint Frazier, and then Gregorius. So Zimmer leads off for the Indians, and he gets on first safely thanks to a fielding error by the first baseman, Chase Headley.
Nice to know he hasn't left his yips at third base.
Then Tyler Wade, the next batter was Lindor, and Tyler Wade bobbled the ball, and he ends up going to first base to get the out. However, Zimmer goes to second, so there goes a potential double play. That's just turned into a single play.
Ugh.
And then Brantley's safe on first, Zimmer to third, thanks to an error by Wade.
And of course, he bobbles. Did he drop the ball or did he bobble it? I blocked it out.
Well, the last one where he got the single out was a bobble. This one where Brantley went to first and Zimmer to third was just a complete error.
Oh, so he couldn't field the damn thing.
Right. This one he couldn't even field. And then let's see. Jay Ramirez RBI single. And then Ramirez, after he got to first, he managed to go to second. And Michael Brantley managed to score because Clint Frazier made a bad throwing error.
He airmailed it.
Kids, this is what happens when you miss the cutoff, man.
Yes. Shane Spencer can tell you that very well.
God, Shane Spencer. Bringing me back to when I was like 3 or 4 years old.
Nice to know I can do that for you, Tom. But all in all, in that game at least, Sonny Gray did a great job pitching. He's very consistent with a ground ball and his strikeouts. And the team, I think, let him down. And the man fought. He really did fight. If it wasn't for the fact that this team is just religiously opposed to scoring runs
I was going to say,
last couple of weeks,
I was gonna say, in addition to the 3 errors, the Yankees only managed one run on 3 hits the entire game.
And I must ask, what the fuck is happening with Aaron Judge?
Yeah, it's the well. To be fair, you're getting a little ahead of yourself in the lineup on Thursday. Judge finally had the day off.
Yeah, I am getting a little. All right, yeah. So I will not put the blame on Judge for what happened when Sonny Gray the game before last.
Well, the Sonny Gray thing. You've seen Angels in the Outfield, right?
Yes, I love that movie.
Good, because I felt like after that game, I felt like Coach Knox, and I wanted, like, if I was Joe Girardi, I would have done the whole one more loss speech.
Yeah, you're a jackass. I'm a pitcher. You're a pitcher and a jackass.
Yeah, but I mean the part where it's like, we're gonna be on the field at 9 a.m. tomorrow for the 1 p.m. game because we're gonna go back to fucking fundamentals.
Exactly, and you know, Girardi, I don't think. Well, I've seen him lose his temper before with the umpires, but he strikes me as, how shall I put it?
Blander than dishwater?
Yeah, not necessarily blander than dishwater. Just, well, yeah, you're right, blander than dishwater. Because let's not beat around the bush here. And
wait, have a bland like a vanilla cookie. Nick?
What?
I said, how about bland like a vanilla cookie?
Yeah, well, vanilla cookies have some flavor. Vanilla is a flavor. It's just a series of, you know what it is? He's beige paneling.
Okay, that might work. That might work. He is beige paneling.
But it works, and I do like the guy. But when there is a time to light the fire under your team's ass, and believe me, this is it.
57 and 51 in the toughest division with all these teams creeping up behind you.
Especially
and the Red Sox trying.
Wandering, yeah.
I was gonna say, and the Red Sox trying to get away from you.
Yeah.
And then, what were we gonna say, Nick?
No, nothing.
It's unbelievable. I know. And then the next night, which is last night, Jaime Garcia made his debut, and it was a rough one.
Didn't do so well, no. And once again, the offense failed because how do you get bases loaded with one out and not do anything?
Thanks, Gary Sanchez, for bases loaded strikeout. That's always a good way to go down.
You know, there are certain points you can just tell. You can maybe it's the gypsy blood in me, but it's I can sort of tell because I saw that look in his eyes and I said he's gonna strike out. Watch. And and strike out he did. And you know, not to take anything away from the Indians third baseman who made a hell of a play to tag out I think Ellsbury at home, or was it Torreyes?
I want to say it was Ellsbury. Trying to look. What inning was that again?
That was the fifth.
The fifth inning. I was gonna say I was at a different ball game yesterday, so I didn't get to see a lot of the game.
Oh, you went to a game yesterday?
Yes, I was at the Yankees minor leagues team here in Staten Island.
Oh.
They didn't do much better. It was like watching.
Yeah, but they're minor leaguers. I mean, you want the team to do well, but you know.
Right.
Again, minor league.
Well, their minor league team had 3 errors the whole game, and the opponents had 2. So it was like watching. It was like, you know, professional baseball at its finest. 5 errors in the whole game.
Oh my God! But still, I mean, that was a hell of a play, and it's dare I say Jeterian, and I hate to use that word.
Using the big words. Let's see. Still trying to find it, and I can't really find what happened.
Yeah, he grabbed it. He grabbed it out of the. I think it was off from the foul line, and then actually no, he grabbed the ball and then threw from the foul line and made a great play.
All right. So yeah, I can't find the play that you were talking about.
No, don't worry about it.
Okay.
But still, it is nevertheless it is endemic of a problem that has been that the trade, all these acquisitions haven't been able to solve, which is this team is incredibly streaky.
Yeah, I mean, just when you think all the problems are solved, then suddenly the Yankees' gloves turn to butter.
Yeah, well, somebody must have put a spring in there, but I put it to you.
Okay.
Is this with Aaron Judge struggling? Is this the home run derby putting his swing out of whack, or is it that pitchers are starting to catch up to him? Because I've heard both sides.
I think pitchers are starting to catch up to him. He wasn't that bad after the home run derby immediately. He was still hitting hot. I think it's just a matter of, and the Yankees, it looked like at the, how do I put this, after the last 2 weeks after the All-Star break, maybe a little bit before too, it looked like the Yankees had finally snapped out of it. It looked like the Yankees had finally, ridden of everything, and then just new problems develop. So I think it's just a matter of he's either gotten just cold or pitchers are starting to figure him out. And I think pitchers are starting to figure him out.
Then they make adjustments, then you make adjustments back. And that always, that's the key to succeeding as a major leaguer.
Right.
I mean, every manager will say that. They'll make adjustments, but you have to make adjustments.
Right. But to be quite fair, despite Judge having an error, having the lone Yankee error last night and going, what was he, 0-4? He was 1 for 2. I mean, I guess that's not too bad. He was 1 for 2 with 2 walks. For that, can't really put it all on Judge. Everybody has to have a share of the pie because Thursday night was terrible defensive work. And then last night, I don't know. Would you say this has been a problem for the Yankees this whole season? Or at least a good portion of it?
Yes.
When the runners in scoring position, they just can't score.
Yeah, I think Holiday getting off to a good start and Judge getting off to an incredible start has kind of papered over the problems that were always there. Because, Greg Bird being out, I mean, despite what he was just starting first baseman, and you're not getting any production. The production from first base has been woefully inadequate this entire season.
I was going to say first base, it's been a rotating door this whole season.
Yeah, and Ellsbury hasn't been able to do much of anything.
Well, now he's on the bench.
And Clint Frazier's done quite well since he's been up, but he hasn't been there all year, and he can't. And with Matt Holliday, going down because of the infection or whatever it is that he had, and he just seems like he's just sapped of energy.
Right. And now what happens when Aaron Hicks comes back?
He was a big contributor to that too, because he was a hot hitter when he went down.
But then only 3 outfield spots, who takes the seat?
That is a difficult question. I would have to say Frazier would have to go down.
I can't agree. I just, for some reason, cannot agree. I mean, I will agree if his bat goes cold, but I mean, if his bat doesn't go cold, this is just a lineup where you cannot take out a hot bat. Not with what the Yankee struggles have been.
Yeah, and I see what you're saying. But
I would honestly have to say, considering Holiday has decreased in production, I would say Holiday has to take a lesser role. Maybe some days give Clint Frazier the DH spot or Hicks the DH spot.
That makes sense. That makes sense. And Yeah, because Holiday going ice cold. I mean, he was a big, especially in the first half with Sanchez hitting and Judge, and then Holiday. That was a potent, that was a potent three in a row when they were all, hot.
Right. Oh, also keep in mind, this will be Hicks coming back from injury for what, like month and a half, maybe 2 months. You don't know what he's gonna do.
It was an oblique injury, right?
Right. So you don't know what the hell he's gonna do. You don't know if he's gonna get back to what he was, or if he's just gonna start cold and be like the rest of the team.
Anybody, just give me somebody that can hit. I don't care who it is. Just give me somebody that is going to see the ball, hit the ball. See the ball, hit the ball. It is the simplest formula in the known universe. See the ball, hit the ball. See the ball, hit the ball. Get it?
Yeah. They've been teaching baseball players that since what, the age of 4 or 5?
Yeah, even I know that. And I've never played a sport in my life.
So, yeah, I don't know, man. Hopefully the Yankees can turn these things around. You're listening to the Unspoken Podcast, Cheap Seat Sports Production Party on Zimmer Podcast Network. Nick, football's back.
Hallelujah! Football has returned, and camp has begun, and fights have already broken out.
And storylines have developed.
Oh my goodness.
So, Nick, I have to ask, what do you think has been the most interesting storyline thus far?
Coming out of training camp?
Coming out of training camp, the offseason, everything.
Team's outright refusal to sign Colin Kaepernick for reasons?
Okay, there was one. Mine was actually going to be very similar to that, considering it's one of the teams about, that's not in talks, but like in the Kaepernick discussion. And that would be, well, Miami's already hitting the emergency button on their quarterback situation.
And they got in touch with Jay Cutler. I read it. Oh my God!
Look at Miami's quarterback situation. Tannehill is down with injury. You could go to one of your backups, or you could go to Jay Cutler, Colin Kaepernick, or Tony Romo. Safe to say Miami's fucked.
Yeah, well, they were the Dolphins. They're no powerhouse, believe me. For the last couple of years, they've been a team that's always, kind of there.
So that means the AFC East is a 2-pony division.
No, one pony division. The Patriots, and the Patriots.
I can dream, damn it. I can dream the Bills going to beat the Patriots.
You can dream, but you better wake up and remember what reality you live in.
So the Miami Dolphins are probably, I think, one of the worst situations possible.
When Jay Cutler is your savior, he of the chain-smoking, nonplussed, bitchy attitude, anti-vaxxer, Jay Cutler. Ugh.
It's like at this point, I need to look up freaking all the stats of freaking Colin Kaepernick, Jay Cutler, and Tony Romo because, just to realize how bad of a move or how risky a move any of these guys are. But let's first of all, right off the bat, Tony Romo, did he even take a snap all season last season? He took a couple, but
he took a couple, but then his back disintegrated.
And then Dak Prescott came in, and it's another Garrick for Pip and Brady for Bledsoe.
Yeah, although let's not shower Dak Prescott with all the hosannas. Anyway, I mean, let's give the kid a couple seasons before we anoint him the second coming.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not one to buy into the Prescott hype already because it's just like.
No, he's good. I mean, as a Giants fan who is religiously opposed to anything Cowboys,
he is good. You're right.
And but I do not want to. I don't want to, let's just say, bow down and worship the ground he walks on yet.
Absolutely. I mean, well, first of all, you wouldn't as a Giants fan.
Yeah, neither of us would.
But second of all, just it just I mean, Tony Romo. I mean, although strangely enough, I feel like if Tony Romo, like if they could get him back to the level that he was, then maybe he could be their best chance. But that's still a long ways to go.
I don't think he'll ever he can get back to playing shape because spinal injuries are horribly serious and horribly difficult to rehab.
That's why I said it was an absolute long shot. Because
and you know what? The CBS broadcast booth is probably the safest place for him.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that in a condescending way.
Right.
I mean that, yeah. I mean that as seriously. I'm concerned that you're going to go out there, get tackled, and never walk again. Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't wish that. Even if he is a Cowboy, even though I do kind of not like the guy as a Giants fan, you don't want to see a guy get paralyzed on the field.
Right. And, I mean, he's had a long career. He's had a fine career. There's a point where you've got to call it, a day. And this was a thing I was going to get into when we were going to talk Kaepernick and maybe Cutler. But the NFL, out of all the four major sports in America, the NFL is a sport where you can deteriorate the quickest.
Yeah, you are the clock for a successful football career is so accelerated. You are considered a veteran by the time you're 30.
Right, Father Time is on rollerblades.
Yeah, he's on rocket skates, is what he is. And you know what? That's why it makes me. This kind of ties into what I was going to say about Colin Kaepernick, because I know that the Ravens, expressed some interest in signing him, yet the owner was, I think, resistant to it. Right?
Right.
He has the stats to back it up, but you're wasting his prime because you don't like his opinions. What the fuck?
I don't know if I can agree with you about the numbers. I mean, maybe overall, but his last two seasons haven't been very good.
His last two seasons haven't been very good, but he has the tools to succeed. Considering some of the quarterbacks that have jobs in the National Football League, a lot of them, all they need to do to maintain a job is have a body temperature of somewhere in the 90s.
But, here's the thing. I'll give you some numbers. Here are some numbers from, actually, Sports Nation about Kaepernick's on-field struggles in the last two seasons. Ready? He has played in 21 games within the past two seasons. He has gone 3-16. He has completed a completion percentage of 59% and a total quarterback rating of 52. Out of 35 qualified quarterbacks, his win-loss record is 34th. His completion percentage is 32nd. His total QBR rating is 31st. That's why I said to say that, this is not the Kaepernick from the 2013 season where he took the team to the Super Bowl. That's why I made the Father Time comments, because I think Father Time has caught up to Kaepernick really quick.
I don't know. I still think he deserves a shot. And to deny it, to deny him it, just because he expressed an opinion, which he has a right as an American to do so, it just smacks of of wrong-headedness at the very least and outright racism at the most. I don't mean to go all
I was gonna say I don't want to get into that because I have it's a tough situation for me, being the dad of a cop.
Yeah, I know, and this is me and my liberal values, but again, white guilt talking here, but or white privilege talking here, but I don't see why the guy doesn't deserve a shot, because he was just.
I know First Amendment right. I know what you mean, but that's a tough thing for me, to balance out. So this is why I would say, okay, you can get a shot, but this is your last shot. You fuck up here, I'd say you're done.
Yeah. Well,
The NFL is becoming a young man's game, and Kaepernick is not a young man anymore.
That is a good point, and I don't mean to upset or offend you in any way, Tom.
No. I'm just saying, like, as much as, you can make all the opinion talk, the last 2 seasons, have, shown something about Kaepernick. And not the off the field stuff, but the on the field stuff. He has been, you could also consider him in the Dak for Romo and the Brady for Bledsoe club with, what's his face? From the 49ers last year.
Gabbert?
Who replaced him?
Huh?
Oh, Garrett. Yeah.
Gabbert. Blaine Gabbert.
Yeah, Blaine Gabbert. Like, you can even consider that. Because I don't think the 49ers did as bad. I mean, they did bad, but it's like, I thought Gabbert at least tried to hold the ship steady.
Yeah, but Chip Kelly and his Grimmer Wormtongue offense.
I was going to say, well, Chip Kelly, his college-level style playing proved to be ineffective at the NFL level.
Chip Kelly, if he wasn't coaching football, he'd be under a bridge somewhere asking somebody 3 questions.
Oh, God.
Just saying.
I know. And to give some, credit to Kaepernick about, like, the one last shot thing, I mean, here are the numbers between, what's his faces? Colin Kaepernick and, who's number 14 on the Jets? Is that Fitzpatrick?
Yeah.
Fitzpatrick. Okay. They each had 11 starts last season. This was either last season or 2. Yeah, I think this was last season. Fitzpatrick, 12 touchdown passes. Kaepernick, 16. Kaepernick, 4 interceptions. And Fitzpatrick, 17. But I'm reading that. I'm just thinking, but it's the New York fucking Jets.
Yeah, it is. It is a staircase that goes nowhere.
Let's face it, the New York Jets, they're in a fish tank because they are going to tank this season. They're not
even going to tank the right way, though. They'll end up winning against the Rams to not secure the number 1 pick and then go out and blow it on a kicker. Rich Cimini said as much. Don't tell me I'm being biased because we heard it straight from the horse's mouth.
Right.
Straight from the mouth of the beat reporter.
Right. Somebody came to talk to us. He's like, sometimes this team, I wish we were a video podcast and we had video rights because I would love to show that YouTube clip of like all the Jets pass picks. You know the video I'm talking about, right?
Yep. Oh boy! Remember Jonathan Vilma, kids?
God. But let's talk about the Giants for a couple of minutes just to make us a little happier. But so the Giants,
they are on the verge of pissing me off too.
Well, unfortunately, Sterling Shepard's bad injury.
Well, it's not bad. It's just what was it? I think it was just a bruised ankle, right?
Right, but I mean, he needed like the card and was trying everything. People at the first thought, shit, ACL, MCL, he's done.
Well, they kind of dodged a bullet, but then again, they didn't. But do they expect him to be ready for the end of this, the beginning of the season, don't they?
I haven't heard a timetable yet, but I'm thinking they'll be here, by the beginning of the season, maybe miss a week or 2, if anything.
Yeah, I would imagine that would mean that you'll see OBJ and Brandon Marshall get more
touches,
reps.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think? I think the Giants could do okay. Oh, by the way, just to give some breaking news, this isn't exactly breaking, but a story from 2 hours ago. An agent, Cutler's broadcast agent, Mark Block, has refuted a report that Cutler turned down an offer from the Dolphins.
Oh, so they're saying he's definitely interested.
That means there is some potential interest. So, what do you think? Could Jay Cutler be a Dolphin?
Jay Cutler would be a Dolphin, and he would be the surliest man in the most laid-back place in the world. How can you frown when you're in Miami Beach?
Well, I don't think he would frown on a beach. I mean, after all, there was that one photo that went viral of Cutler.
Yes, the artistic photo of him with his ass hanging out.
Yes. I think Brandon Marshall had a reaction to it. Like, TMZ caught up with Marshall, and he was like, they showed him the photo, and he's like, come on, man.
Of course. And that's the exact reaction you want. It's like, come on, man. Seriously? Oh my God.
Some people even thought that was his retirement announcement.
I've shed the clothes of the NFL. I am free. I am free. I am dangling in the wind of freedom.
It's just keep in mind, Tannehill still has to decide if he wants the knee-ending surgery or not. Which at this point, I could see it happening. Tannehill's season ending before it even begins.
I don't know any Dolphins fans, but I'd imagine they're pretty upset.
Probably. I was gonna say, look at their quarterback situation. Not exactly a all-star situation you want to be in.
They ain't exactly murderers row, let's say.
No, this is like the wheel of it's either the wheel of mediocrity or the wheel of obscurity.
Yes, it is a veritable who's that of NFL talent.
This is like the game show instead of Wheel of Fortune. It's wheel
of
mediocrity.
Yes.
You're listening to the Unspoken Podcast, a Cheap Seat Sports production, part of the Undetermined Podcast Network. Nick, do you want to do your topic next, or do you want to do my hot take?
Let's end with mine. Go with the hot take, boy.
Okay. LaVar Ball, shut the fuck up. Okay, end of hot take.
That's it? That's it?
No. So, for those of you who have been sleeping under a rock, LaVar Ball has been... Well, he's back. His mouth is back.
Oh, my.
This is from Bleacher Report the other day. This has been making headlines the other day, but LaVar Ball says he'd beat Michael Jordan one-on-one with one arm tied behind his back.
He said what?
He said, let me actually get the exact quote from you. So, oh, wait. That's a TMZ video. I don't want to really play it up. But he has said he could beat Michael Jordan, the six-time NBA champion, the former NBA MVP, the man who has turned the fortunes around of Charlotte. He could beat him one-on-one with one arm tied behind his back.
Right now or 1990s Jordan?
I would say either, knowing LaVar Ball.
Ugh. Please tell me he was kidding.
No.
Oh, please tell me he was kidding.
This LaVar Ball kid. Does he kid?
That's when you have an inflated ego with a staggeringly precise sense of delirium, and that's what this is, delirium. And I'm starting to think maybe this is all some kind of weird performance art bullshit. That's what I'm starting to think.
It probably is. But still, get the freaking tinfoil hat out. Like, Jesus Christ, how loony are you? Michael Jordan.
Like I've said before, this kid is going to get eaten alive in the league.
Well, you're talking. This is LaVar. This is the dad, not Lonzo.
Yes, I know. But Lonzo, because of what the dad is doing, and because of that's kind of filtering down to his son, he is going to get eaten alive. And I'm not thinking like this will be like a first round bust, Darko Milicic.
Right, but he's going to have to deal with a lot of the media, and it might have an effect on the kid.
Yeah, and the kid's got talent. He just needs to learn to shut up sometimes. And this is not This is not calling out, being the double standard, like thuggish behavior, which is basically just coded language. But he needs to be able to deal with this better, please.
And also, his second preseason game, Lonzo had like a triple-double, and his dad was like, that's not good enough because the team lost. It's like, well, you can't put your son, as the savior of the team. One man does not make a team. One man is not a mountain.
Yeah, just ask Kobe.
Exactly. Kobe tried to do that for years, and he sometimes was successful, and some other times the team was shit. So basically, you can't put it all on Lonzo. A triple-double, I know players who would love to have a triple-double every game.
But in terms of, I don't think we've ever seen something like this in major American, North American sports, where the parent of a player is just so out there, so overbearing that it kind of overshadows everything the kid does.
I mean, Eli Apple's mom had made a lot of attention, and even got an ESPN interview deal out of the whole thing. But she wasn't overbearing. It's like I haven't heard much from her since.
Yes, I would listen to her all day, every day. Believe me.
I was gonna say, and she seemed, sweet. Meanwhile, Lonzo Ball, I think is LaVar Ball, pardon me, is like from another universe or something.
Yeah. And Eli Apple, yeah, you're right. She seems like a great lady. And I can't, but LaVar Ball, he's just angry at everybody and everything. He's full of piss and vinegar. and you really can't. When you're living vicariously through your son, please don't do that.
Oh, by the way, Lonzo Ball is, quote, not currently negotiating with other shoe brands. I guess they're really trying to make that big baller brand a thing.
So he's got his own brand of shoes.
Yes, this is LaVar and Lonzo's thing, the big baller brand.
We're both too young to remember this, but I've heard this happen.
Okay.
But I've heard that when Reggie Jackson got a candy bar.
I don't even remember that.
Yeah, of course you don't, because it was in the 80s, and we were born in the 90s, both of us.
That's true. That is true.
But this is, oh my God.
Oh, there's one more thing. I'd like how this has turned into less of like a hot take for me and more of I want to see how you react to this. All right, so you ready for this one?
Go.
Okay, this is LaVar Ball's comments on a certain New England Patriots quarterback, Rob Gronkowski. Quote, Gronkowski can't hang with me back in my heyday. Yes, LaVar has stated that he thinks he was a better tight end than the Gronk.
He played football?
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, so it's like, how can you brag when most people don't even know you did the thing that you're saying you did?
This is absolutely.
Since I've never heard of you as a football player, I can't exactly take your word for it, there, pal.
This is absolutely ludicrous. Absolutely ludicrous. I just, you get what I mean. Like, I don't know why I would talk LaVar Ball anymore because he is just so out of this world. He's from another planet. I swear.
Yeah, we've gone past overbearing into Kanye levels of crazy.
Also, actually, God, LaVar Ball did have stints in the NFL. He was on the Jets practice squad as a defensive end in '94 for Pete Carroll, and a tight end for Rich Cotty in '95.
Oh.
I think he ended up playing with the London Monarchs for a bit or something like that. But all I remember from those findings are apparently he had attitude problems back then too and everything.
Oh. Fancy that. I didn't actually know that.
But
Wow.
for you to, but look at what LaVar Ball did. He ended up playing on the practice squads in Europe. He's not Gronkowski, who was a Super Bowl champion and an all-star, tight end.
He can't even hang with most tight ends in the NFL. No matter who they are, Gronkowski or not.
Right. So LaVar Ball.
At this point, I just want the season to end and the Lakers to go in, because if the Lakers are having a bad season,
We're gonna hear more of him.
This is going to be kicked into overdrive, and it is going to be glorious.
I was gonna say it's gonna work both ways. Either we're gonna have the Lakers are gonna go on a massive winning streak, and LaVar Ball is gonna be, I told you my son, I told you my boy could be doing everything, and watch, here comes what's his face, LaMelo, and now he's gonna come up and they're gonna dominate. They're gonna go or they're gonna go on a massive losing streak, and we're just gonna hear him whine and complain. So
the losing streak will be definitely more entertaining.
I guess, yeah. But the thing is, the season hasn't even begun. It's still August.
Ugh.
We're still 2 months away from the start of the NBA season.
Wake me when it's October. Really.
Yeah. Wake me when it's October so I can watch hockey instead of basketball. Hockey greater than basketball.
Yeah.
I said it. You're listening to the Unspoken Podcast. This is a cheap seat sports production part of the Undetermined Podcast Network. Last topic for today, Nick. This is a topic you wanted to talk about, and a topic I'm not sure I have too much knowledge in, so you're in control for this one. This is
what I'd like to, yes, and I'd like to bring up the idea of sports conspiracy theories, and we know conspiracy theories, right? Real tinfoil hat stuff, like lizard people, fluoride in the water, chemtrails, real loony shit. But what people may not realize. What, you didn't know that?
No, I said perfect transition from LaVar Ball because I made the tinfoil hat comment.
Yeah, exactly. Which made it which is why I wanted it to go first. But what people might not know is that conspiracy theories are not limited to they have made their way into the sports world as well. And I'm sure a lot of people have heard, about if you're a Knicks fan, you or if you're a Celtics fan, I think Simmons brought this up where the 1985 draft was actually rigged.
Oh, for the Knicks to get Patrick Ewing, number one overall.
Patrick Ewing, and apparently the lottery letter with the Knicks name on it was frozen first, so that way when David Stern reached into the basket to pull it out, he knew which one was the Knicks. So,
like I said,
real tinfoil.
I thought. Now this conspiracy theory, I thought it was that the letter, for the Knicks, I thought that was bigger.
I heard that it was frozen.
Okay, so that's interesting.
As in they put a letter in the refrigerator. Which what?
But they're inside, these like little envelope things. So it's like I can't really. That's weird.
Yeah, plus there was David Ortiz's conspiracy theory that the New York media leaked his name being on the Mitchell report to slander him. Or he thinks somebody on the Yankees did it.
That's weird.
You never heard that?
No, I didn't hear about that one, but it's like, no, I'm not sure if I more heard about that one or wrote it off as, total BS. And considering he actually was caught with steroids before, I would say total BS.
Yeah. And of course, my personal favorite, because it's just so detailed and so involved.
Oh God.
I'm not gonna go into the details of it because I'll be here all day. But basically, that Fred and Jeff Wilpon are supervillains, and they're running the Mets like a freaking Ponzi scheme.
Well, I mean, that one certainly has the most credibility.
Oh, you've heard that one.
It sounds like it's the most credible one out of the three. Strangely enough.
And basically, I can't recall all the nitty-gritty details of this one, but it's apparently they moved the Mets from Shea specifically so the team would tank and they would do all this underhanded wheeling and dealing to get the Mets moved into Kansas City and then bring the or some bumfuck town and then do fucking something, and they get reclaimed by the Dodgers. I think, and it's
what that is the strangest one out of the. That's also the strangest one out of the three. But you know what I'm thinking of? It makes me think of the Major League, the movie.
It does.
Where the owner wants the Indians to tank and
deliberately tank the season so they'll move.
Yeah, so they can move to Miami.
Of all of them, that is probably my favorite because how far-fetched, yet considering how the Mets are actually run, it actually does have a grain of salt.
Exactly.
It has a grain of truth, I should say.
It's like, my God. At this point, considering you call them supervillains, you might as well call the Justice League in to try to stop this.
Yeah, call the Justice League, call the Avengers, call the Defenders, call the Fantastic Four, call everybody. And you know what?
They're all gonna play the Mets.
And it's not limited to the world. It's not limited to the world of baseball. And
well, you know what's funny? Wait. I just realized we were saying call the Avengers and everybody else. Well, DeGrom is Thor. I mean,
yeah. Well, the
Mets pitchers all are the Mets pitchers. They call all the Avenger names. Consider Thor and everything.
Batman's not an Avenger though. They call Harvey the Dark Knight.
Oh, okay, that is true. But still, they're all superhero names, so it's kind of an ironic twist.
Yeah, but the world of tinfoil hattery is not limited to the world of baseball, though. Oh no. There actually are conspiracy theories that the Islanders are being deliberately run into the ground to be able to get a more favorable lease out of Nassau County. And that one hits home for me because, the Coliseum is what, like 5 minutes away from Hofstra?
Yeah. I was going to say, I think it's like a half-hour walk. Like you just walked
to where our classes are and to the Coliseum.
I didn't say it's actually it's applicable. You could walk from our classroom to the Coliseum.
And that hits home for me, but I wouldn't think that Isles ownership is deliberately tanking the team to get it to move to Brooklyn and then move back.
Right, but of course the Barclays Center I think has proven to be a failure of a hockey arena.
Yeah, well, people have said that, but I put it to you.
Okay.
But I put it to you. Which of these, if you were to pick a sports conspiracy theory that sounds the most plausible,
it's got to be the Mets.
It's got to be the Mets?
Got to be the Mets one.
Really? Because it just sounds so involved and so crazy.
Yeah, but considering how the team is run.
Yeah, but look, conspiracy theory, if you automatically have an assumption of something, you will craft a narrative to fit it. And that's where most conspiracy theories come from.
That is true, but still, I just think, the Mets one is so funny and yet so complex and yet so, grain of salt of truth. It's my favorite one out of the four.
Yeah, it's like a Rube Goldberg machine, which at the end, the only purpose is to serve is to kick you in the balls.
And like I said, the irony that the Mets pitchers, they're named Thor, the Dark Knight, and they're all superhero names, and you call the owners the supervillains. It's so ironic. It's so good.
Because the amount of planning and the amount of foresight you would need, all these steps in advance and all this financial wheeling and dealing and all this, you would need to basically be, you deserve a volcano lair because you're basically a Bond villain at this point.
I mean, that's something. And before we go...
I love crazy sports conspiracy theories.
What?
I really do.
You gotta more?
Love it. No, I said you gotta love it.
Oh, yeah. I love it. That Mets one is so...
I'm telling you, look it up. It is out there. I'm not just talking out of my ass.
I believe you. Also, apparently, before we go, LeBron posted to Instagram of just I guess a video selfie of him singing some Meek Mill song. So, of course, LeBron's got to be LeBron.
Ugh.
I will never lose.
Dog Days is really bored already.
I was going to say, I will never lose. That's the song he's singing. Really, LeBron? Because you've lost quite a few NBA finals over the years.
Oh, boy.
And that's going to...
so pissed, and he's going to be out of here. He's going to be out of Cleveland so fast. Ugh.
Yeah, he's going to run for the hills soon.
But that is a discussion for another episode.
That is. I mean... so what was your favorite topic this episode?
I keep saying I love conspiracy theories.
That one was very good. And just remember something: if a certain famous NBA player couldn't help save the Lakers at times by himself, I don't know what your son is gonna do.
Oh boy, he's gonna get punched in the mouth.
Yeah, that's an understatement. And I had to use the soundboard one time this episode.
Yeah, there's never a bad time to use the soundboard.
Yeah, especially because I had the Kobe one sitting there. I was just like, I gotta throw Kobe in.
Oh boy.
So that is going to do it for this episode of the Unspoken Podcast. Go like us on Facebook and Twitter at the UDUP. And go like Cheap Seats Sports on Facebook and Twitter. And yeah, that's going to do it for episode number 30. We made it 30 episodes, Nick.
Let's see if we can get to 50.
I think we will. I think the plan is for us to have like our 1 year anniversary around the time episode 50 comes, because it's plausible it can happen.
If it's plausible, that means it could happen. That's the essence of conspiracy theories. Now you have a tinfoil hat. Congratulations, tinfoil hat.
Everyone gets a tinfoil hat today.
You get a tinfoil hat, and you get a tinfoil hat, and you get a tinfoil hat. Good. Go spread the word about chemtrails and gay frogs.
Nick is an incarnation of Oprah today, I guess.
Yeah, I don't have the hair for
it. And that's going to do it. I'm Tom Allen along with Nick Fodera. This has been the Unspoken Podcast, a Cheap Seat Sports production part of the Unspoken Podcast Network. We'll see you next week for episode 31.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.